Oh, good morning, y'all. Another day, another grind. And that's what it is. It's a grind every day. You got to keep pushing forward. You can't ever finish if you don't start. Right? As simple as that is, you're never going to finish if you don't start. You're not going to get to where you want to be if you don't start heading in that direction. On the converse, you ain't gonna finish if you don't ever start. And if you don't start, you ain't never gonna finish. And I think those are the two hardest things, starting and finishing, because I think they're both kind of linked. A lot of times, man, something might seem easy to start, like, man, getting out here, picking up this phone and shooting these videos on day one, week one. Hey man, this is pretty simple. I can do this, ain't no big deal. But staying consistent with it and to keep on pushing, that's a different story. It takes work. And that's where the finishing comes in, man. You gotta keep on pushing, because what you do every day is linked to that finish line. Keep on pushing. And man, I'm grateful for any of you who listen to this, because it's a way for me to get out here and clear my mind and get some thoughts out and just put these things into the world, and also helps me stay disciplined, because it gives me something to work towards. Because I don't know what the future holds, but I know that if I can keep on going forward, there's something good in store. Even though I might not see it at the moment, because it's the cumulative effect of those seemingly insignificant changes added up over time that make a world of difference. I think it's Jim Quick, I think. It's the author's name of Atomic Habits. For us to make a decision to make just a 1% change, even 0.1% of a change, and how that can compound over time. And I think that's why a lot of the times later in life you wake up and you wonder, man, how did I get here? It's not that I made a ton of bad decisions. It wasn't like there was some giant, catastrophic, horrible choice. Though those do happen. But a lot of times, people wake up later in life and they go, how did I get here? Well, it was all those little choices you made along the way. They compounded over time. I know that's the case in my life. Granted, I made some pretty stupid decisions in my life. I ain't no doubt about that. But I also just made a bunch of just mediocre decisions. I didn't apply myself as hard as I should have. I didn't discipline myself. I gave in to carnal, earthly desires. Smoked way too much weed and sat on the couch and played video games and drank way too many beers and went out and partied. And, God is still good, and He has blessed me immensely with everything that I have: my family, my son, my stepdaughters, my job, the toys that I have, this property that I get to come out here and walk, the animals that run around. You know, sometimes that regret will creep in though. Say, man, if you would have done this, or you would have done that, or you would have made better choices or better decisions, you'd be in a better place. You know, that's something that I wrestle with at times, because I can't deny that it's true. But at the same time, the Lord is sovereign. And I know a lot of the decisions that I made in my life that were bad, I've seen the Lord work for good. So I'm grateful for Him. And I will continue to move forward in hopes that my story will be a testimony to those around me and those that come after me. You know, I can't do anything to change the past, but I can sure work my tail off to change the future, to write and direct the course that is ahead of me. Now granted, there's going to be things that are outside of my control. You know, it's how we respond to the things that are outside of our control that really matter. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do with what's inside of your control? You going to stop fussing and complaining about all this other stuff that's outside of your control? Are you going to stop fussing and complaining about your wrong decisions in the past? Are you going to man up and decide to do something about it now? Your whole life lays ahead of you. And while we're not promised tomorrow, nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. You can start working today towards that future that you want to build. But you got to start if you ever hope of finishing. Because if you don't start, you ain't never going to finish. Those two things are inextricably linked. Any line has to have a starting point and an ending point. You can choose today to start moving in the right direction, to do something seemingly insignificant. Let those insignificant choices pile up in a big way. You know, it's often said that we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 5. Just focus on being consistent. Man, I'll tell you, you know, right now I got 9 subscribers on this channel. And man, thank you to all of y'all that have pushed through and hit a thumbs up on my videos. A few of y'all that have subscribed. I appreciate it. All 9 of y'all. But you know, this is a grind, and I'm gonna keep on pushing, because I know that if I can keep on pushing and get through doing the things that I don't like to do, on the other side is greatness. You know, it's about seeking. Jesus himself said, "Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. Ask and it will be given." But every single one of those is in a present tense. You got to keep seeking, got to keep knocking, got to keep asking. Every day. That's why we got to grind every day. So man, y'all, think about what it is you want to achieve. Start moving in that direction. Just pick one thing, man. You ain't got to have all the answers. Pick something small, that 1% change. Say, hey, I'm going to do 5 push-ups every morning when I wake up. I'm going to do 2. Like, whatever it is. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to pick up a book and I'm going to read for 15 minutes. I'm going to put my phone down. Something. Think about it. Figure out what it is. Commit to it. Stick to it and do it. Start on that journey. And what does Jordan Peterson say? Clean up your room. Right? See what it is that sticks out to you and go put it in order. But look, I'm going to tell you, all that stuff's going to be in vain. If you're just doing it for yourself, are you doing it for the world, are you doing it for somebody else? There is a God in heaven who loves you. He wants so desperately for you to be all He created you to be. And until you surrender your life to Him, turn your face towards Him and seek Him with your whole heart, you will be hopelessly lost no matter how many quote-unquote good things you do. Seek the Lord while He may be found. Y'all be blessed.